You're listening to I Love This TV Show, The Golden Girls.
The Golden Girls, Season 3, Episode 21, Larceny and Old Lace. Original air date, February 27, 1988. In this episode, Dorothy is furious that she has come home to find Rocco there. Sophia met him at the police station because he had been arrested. Sophia is very smitten with him, though, and defends him. Out on the lanai, Rocco is bragging to Sophia about all the gangsters he had worked with. Dorothy comes out to find them playing strip poker and is not happy. Rose asks Dorothy if she thinks Blanche has been picking on her lately. Blanche walks in furious. Rose exits. Blanche shows Dorothy a diary. Dorothy refuses to read it, but then tries to as soon as Blanche leaves the room. Sophia comes back with Rocco. He has all his belongings in a cart and pushes it to Sophia's room. Rose finds her diary and realizes the girls have been reading it. Later that night, Dorothy goes to talk to Sophia about Rose. Blanche is already in Sophia's room. Rose knocks on her door shortly after. She goes in the room too. She wants no part of Dorothy and Blanche. The pair try to apologize. Sophia hears about the diary for the first time. Rose explains it was her 4-H diary from back when she raised pigs for the county fair. She tells them she can't be friends with them anymore. They're too big for forgiveness, and she finally gives it to them. Sophia kicks them all out of her room. They knock over a bag before they leave, and a lot of money falls out, cash money. Dorothy thinks that Rocco has robbed a bank. Sophia speaks with him and asks about the money. He confirms he robbed the bank. He did it for love. She wants to convince him to turn himself in. Then they all discuss the most romantic things that their loves have done for them. Rocco joins Sophia on the lanai. He has a Harley and wants her to go to Mexico with him. The two talk and he tells her the truth. He didn't rob a bank. The money was his life savings. That night, the girls play Trivial Pursuit. Rose gets her question right, and no one wants to play anymore. Sophia calls to tell Dorothy she is staying at Rocco's for the night, and Dorothy gets angry. Favorite quotes. Dorothy: I can't believe my mother is hanging out with that cheap hood. Dorothy: Ma, Rose isn't talking to me. Sophia: Enjoy it while it lasts. Sophia: What do you think this is, the 7-Eleven? I'm not open all night. Sophia: That clears it all up. See you later, then. He robbed the bank. Anybody hungry? Blanche: One thing is for sure, that Rocco is a romantic, and there aren't many men like him left. Blanche: It goes to show you, hair may turn gray, your skin may wrinkle, but you're never too old for romance. Dorothy is not happy with the guy that her mother is dating. She feels that he is just a cheap hood. And I guess the way that Sophia and Rocco met really didn't help the situation either. I'm still not clear on why Sophia was done at the police station. But that's where she met Rocco. And apparently Rocco was arrested because he was spray painting on a billboard. So it's not the biggest crime in the world, but for a guy his age to be able to get up onto a billboard is actually still pretty impressive. But yeah, the whole episode is just really Rocco pretending to be something that he's not. He's pretending to be a retired gangster. He's pretending to know all of these other gangsters. He's just putting on this facade in an attempt to impress Sophia. And the whole time, had he just been himself, Sophia would have been much happier. She didn't want him to pretend to be someone who he wasn't just to try to impress her. She just liked him for him. And when he tells her the truth at the end about who he was and how he was really just a cook at a restaurant and this and that, which he doesn't really think is much of anything, Sophia turns around and tells him that's plenty enough for me. Because Sophia likes people for who they are. She sees people's true self, she sees their heart. And that's who she likes them for. Just for themselves. Not someone they're pretending to be. And I really feel bad at the end because Sophia essentially says that, had he told her the truth from the start, they would have had a chance at a real relationship. But because of all of these falsehoods and lies and embellishments and non-truths that he told her, that it just isn't going to work, because how moving forward will she know when he's actually telling her the truth or not? And it is sad, but it is true. These are things. It's like honesty is always the best policy. If you lie to someone, if you pretend to be something you're not, it does make it very difficult to trust that person again in the future. Because how do you know the next thing they say is going to be the truth, or is the next thing they say just going to be a lie again? For me, this episode just always tends to make me a little sad. Because I know there's another episode about truth where it's about Blanche's niece, Lucy, and all of her sexcapades. But it just kind of in the same manner. She didn't think she was good enough as herself. Rocco does not think that he's good enough just as himself. And so they make bad decisions. They make poor choices. They try to make themselves look better or more important or this or that. And once the truth does come out, it just simply backfires, undermines, and destroys the relationship and the trust. But you kind of have to wonder what a person went through to make them feel that they needed to pretend to be something they weren't in order to be good enough for you, in order for you to want to go out with them. And that's just kind of a sad one as well. Because everybody should be loved for who they are, for themselves, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Thanks for tuning in to the I Love This TV Show podcast. If you would like to make a donation in support of this podcast, you can through Cash App to Pasta26MC. That's pasta like the food, the number 2, the number 6, M as in monkey, C as in cat. If you would like to sponsor this podcast or advertise on it, please send an email to t2podcast@pastasworld.com. As always, you can go to pastasworld.com for more information.